Okay, so over the last few weeks, I've been showing you how you can set up iCloud and your calendar. But I do know some of you out there like to use Google Calendar. And in many respects, Google Calendar has become a sort of industry standard, although I do believe Outlook Calendar is still there. But what would happen if you do want to use Google Calendar as the back-end calendar and use your Apple's built-in calendar app and the iOS app together? Well, that's no problem at all. Apple make this absolutely brilliantly simple, but you do need to know how to set it up. And that is what I'm going to show you in this week's episode. Now, before I take you into my iOS and Apple Calendar and Google Calendar, I would just like to say, if you want to get more tips, trips and news on Apple's productivity system, then please hit that like button below. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet and you would love to subscribe to the channel, then please subscribe. Now let me take you into my Apple Calendar and I will show you how to get Google Calendar set up. Okay, so usually the best place to do this is actually on your desktop. But you can do this through iOS. There's no problem with that. You just need to set up the internet account. Now, to set up the internet account, what we do is we go down to this system preferences down here, and you can go into your internet account, which is right there. Click on that. Now, at the moment in here, I just have an iCloud account, but what I want to do is I want to set up a Google account. So I'll just click on there. Now, Google is going to say open up the browser. So essentially, it's just going to open up the browser. I'm going to use my demo account here. So this is all in Korean because I live in Korea, but essentially it's the same, whatever language you're in. So that now sets up my Google account. And that's all now set up. Now, when it comes in, you have a number of options. I don't need notes because I always use Apple Notes. My contacts maybe, and yeah, sure enough, maybe email. You can decide what you want to keep. Now, once you've done that, that's now set up. And you'll notice if we go over here, that now I have my Google Calendar. So that's come in here. So now that you'll see what we have here is all my Google Calendars have come in. Now if I go over here, you can see over here I've got my Google Calendar open. My demo account is open. So I've got a number of calendars here. Let's just open that up and they're all down here. Some of them I've turned off, some of them I've turned on, but they're all there. And that's on my Google Calendar. But if I go back here, what I'm first going to have to do is obviously close out my iCloud because I don't want to see that. And that's all completely out. And then if you look in here, I've got essentially all my tasks from Google Calendar. So that's really the only way that you can do it. And it is the best way to do it because you can now, if I go in here, you can now actually add tasks in here. Actually, they're all coming in because it's just new. But I can now start adding the tasks in here. So new event, this is a new task. And that's all done. So these things will come in and you can do it. If you subscribe to a Google Calendar, you won't be able to modify them. So you need to bring in as a Google account, and that's come in here. I'm just going to turn that one. Oops, that's still on. So turn that one off. So these are all my accounts that are in. If I go back, maybe if I go back and go forward. Yeah, I've got a few things coming in here, but it does take a few minutes for it to all load in, but that's all going to start coming in right now. So that's how to set it up on your desktop. Now to show you how to set it up on your mobile, let's go into my iPhone. Okay, the first thing we need to do is go into settings, and what you want to be doing is to scroll down to your passwords and accounts, which is right there. Hit on the passwords and accounts. Now as you can see here, I've just got my 3 regular accounts. Now this is my old phone, so I can actually add a new account, and that's what we're going to do. Is we're going to add a new account. Now this new account obviously is a Gmail account. It's a Google account, so I'm going to hit Google. And that's going to ask me if it wants to open up a web browser, because basically what we have to do is type in my email address. So carl.pullein@gmail.com and hit continue, which it will do. Or rather hit continue to make sure that it does that. And then it's going to ask me for the password. And this is a little bit, so I need to go down and look for the right one. And it's there, so we hit that one. That's going to do the Face ID and then hit down. So that means continue. There you go. You just learned a Korean word. Now this is going to give me all my usual options, including mail, contacts, calendars, and notes. Now you can turn these on or off as you wish. Now if you generally bring in a Gmail account, you probably want to continue with your mail. Maybe you don't want your calendars because that's already on your phone, but if you want, you can keep that in. You can even keep your notes using Gmail too. But the key one here is the calendars, which is make sure that's on. So I'm going to save that. That's done. Now, for the purpose of this, I've turned off my calendars in my other account so that you can actually see this coming in. So that's all done. Once you set it up, and it's as simple as that, pretty much exactly the same way that you would have done it using your desktop accounts. Now go down to the bottom of your calendars. What you want to do is to make sure that these are switched on. So it might take a few minutes for it to come in because it's now got to download all the information from the Google servers, but I've made sure that these are all in here. Do I really want to, I've got holidays in Republic of Korea. Some of these I may want to actually say, do I want these on or don't I want these on? You know, they're done. You can turn them on or off as much as you like. So I can turn off my Todoist, I can turn off birthdays, for example, or I can keep them on, but let's keep them off. And it'll just take a few minutes then to start. This is down from under. Let's go to today. So as you can see, they're now coming in. And here they are. They've all started coming in of the accounts, so they're in. And that's it. Essentially, that's all you have to do to connect a Google Calendar to your iOS devices. So I know this is not quite using iCloud, but I do know a lot of people have in the past asked me about how do I connect my Exchange account or type in my Google account. Pretty much exactly the same way. If I go back into settings for you, and you can see that if I'd wanted to, let's get a new account, you can actually add a Microsoft Exchange account, or you can add outlook.com. So it's pretty much exactly the same way. I just chose Google because I don't have an Exchange account. So there you go. Hopefully you found this episode useful. It just remains for me now to wish you all a very, very productive week. Thank you for watching this video. Now, if you have enjoyed these Apple videos that I'm doing and you want to build your very own Apple productivity system, then please check out my Create Your Own Apple Productivity System course, which is available from my Learning Center and is incredible value, and it will show you how to bring all these parts together, the Notes app, iCloud, reminders and calendar, into one beautiful productivity system. Check out the course here. The details are below, and I hope to see you in the course.